Gentlemen, fall is just around the corner and I want you gentlemen to smell amazing even on a budget. So in this video I will show you 5 amazing fragrances to wear in this fall season of 2024. Let's not waste any more time and let's begin. The first fragrance on this list is a designer fragrance that is known to be very affordable but still smell of high quality, and that is Chopard Oud Malaki. Chopard Oud Malaki is this slightly sweet, spicy and dry woody fragrance. It starts off with a bright and zingy opening consisting of some lavender and a grapefruit accord, but quickly gets overpowered by some spices, a smooth leather accord, some dry and sweet tobacco, and a westernized woody oud accord and an ambergris accord as well to give the fragrance some lift and some woody nuances. This is slightly sweet but mostly going to be very dry and spicy with definitely some woody undertones, and in my opinion this is a great fragrance to be worn as a signature scent in the colder seasons in the fall and winter. On my skin I get 7 to 9 hours of longevity, with the projection being a scent bubble for around an hour or so, which then dries to being a mild skin scent. This fragrance gets compared to the blazing Mr. Sam from Penhaligon's, and I definitely see the resemblance here, and I got this 80 ml bottle for around $22 on the secondhand market, and generally this is going to be on the cheaper side of designer fragrances. I have given Chopard Oud Malaki an 8.5 out of 10 minutes improvement rating. Have you tried this before? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to see your opinions down there. On the second spot I have an Arabian fragrance that is super delicious, and that is Swiss Arabian Shaghaf Oud Tonka. This fragrance is going to be very sweet, sugary and a little ambery as well. This fragrance starts off with an almond accord that is a little nutty, but there's also some reminiscence of a cherry sweetness at the top, and whenever this fragrance gets to dry and develop, you're going to pick up on some slight spiciness coming from some cinnamon, and in the late dry down and develop, and you're going to pick up on a very noticeable vanilla and tonka bean scent. This is very sweet, sugary, dense and very strong as well, and this fragrance's scent profile is somewhat reminiscent of the scent of marzipan, which I think is very mouth-watering and very delicious. It doesn't lean 100% gourmand, but it's still very sweet and very marzipan-like. On my skin I get 10 to 12 hours of longevity, with around an arm's length of projection that dries to being a moderate and in the end a mild skin scent after an hour or two. I think this fragrance is super delicious and a joy to wear because it's very strong, it's compliment pulling, and it's somewhat unique in my opinion. And I've given this fragrance an 8.9 out of 10 minutes improvement rating. Very strong, sweet, sugary fragrance that is awesome to wear in the fall and winter season, and I can't wait to wear this one myself. And that was Swiss Arabian Shaghaf Oud Tonka. The third fragrance is one that I've got gifted by the brand for a review, but I still really enjoy it, and that is Rejeel limited edition. This fragrance is very reminiscent of Montal Arabian Tonka, but not as sugary, but slightly more going to the honey direction. This is sugary, sweet, but mostly this is going to be very dense, thick, ambery. There's a little bit of this honey sweetness, and there's this sugar cane like accord to also give you this powdery, sugary airiness as well. I think this is very sweet, very sugary, and such an addictive scent to wear. On my skin I get 10 to 12 hours of longevity, with around an arm's length of projection, with a very dense scent bubble for around an hour or two, which then dries to being a moderate and in the end a mild skin scent. I got gifted this fragrance by the brand for review, but if you want to pick it up yourself you can get it for around $35 or so, which I think is a steal for the sheer strength that this carries. And I've also rated Rejeel limited edition an 8.9 out of 10 minutes improvement rating. Such a hidden gem right here, especially if you like the scent of the Montal Arabian's Tonka but you want it to be less sugary but slightly more honey-like. On the third spot I actually have a perfume mist that I picked up in Dubai earlier this year, and that is Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush Cheirosa 62 perfume mist. This might not be a fragrance, but it is a perfume mist, and I think this can easily be worn as a fragrance by itself. This is very, very strong, and for the price you almost can't get a better better fragrance than this one, especially if you're looking for a very sweet fragrance. There's some floral sweetness to give you this very airy and uplifting feeling, combined with the green nuttiness coming from the pistachio, and there's also vanilla and caramel in this scent, which all combined gives you this very sweet, dense, thick, and super strong sugary caramel vanilla scent with a hint of some pistachio and almond in there. This is such a delicious fragrance. This is targeted for women, but I think it's perfectly unisex and one that I can highly recommend if you're looking for a caramel and vanilla bomb with some nutty sweetness in there as well. On my skin, I get 7 to 9 hours of longevity with 1 to 2 meters of projection for around 2 to 3 hours, which throughout the lifetime of this projection has a very delicious and strong scent bubble, and in the end, after the 3-hour mark, becomes a mild skin scent. For the price of around $30 for a 90 ml, I think this is a bargain and such a delicious fragrance, and I've given this perfume mist an 8.8 out of 10 men's improvement rating, and I can highly recommend you at least check this out if you like very sweet vanilla fragrances. And lastly, on the 5th spot, I have a clone that I got gifted by the brand ParfumeLab, and that is M111. This fragrance is a clone of Tom Ford Lost Cherry, but in my opinion it resembles more the scent of Kayali Burning Love Fest Cherry, and that is because of this very prominent Peru balsam and Palo Santo in the base, combined with the sweet rose-like scent, and of course the very prominent cherry fruity sweetness at the top that is very prominent in the entire lifetime of the fragrance. This is very tart, sweet, cherry-like, and I love it for that. You can see how much of it I've already used up. I'm halfway through my bottle, and I'm very thankful that ParfumeLab sent me this as one of the fragrances because I really wanted to try this out for myself. This is very dense, thick, sweet, and reminds you of the Tom Ford Lost Cherry or Kayali Burning Love Fest Cherry DNA. On my skin, I get 10 to 12 hours of longevity with around an arm's length of projection that quickly becomes a mild skin scent after an hour or so. Very compliment pulling, dense, thick, and if you want something that reminds you of Lost Cherry for a fraction of the price, then this is it. I've rated ParfumeLab M111 a 9 out of 10 men's improvement rating, and if you live in the Scandinavian region or in Germany, you can pick this up for yourself, and I can highly recommend you this clone of the DNA right here. Gentlemen, what do you think of my 5 fall fragrance recommendations for you guys in 2024? Have you tried some of them? Do you own some of them? Do you agree or disagree with my recommendations? Leave all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. I would love to see what you think of this video right here down there. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the Men's Improvement YouTube channel for more videos about fragrances, grooming, style, fashion, skincare, fitness, watches, everything that will make you, gentlemen, the best possible versions of yourselves. The last few things that I want to ask you, gentlemen, is to smile more because it's free, and I want you to watch these 2 videos right here. This one here below is going to be my latest upload, whereas this one up here is going to be video that the YouTube algorithm thinks you will enjoy.